Google fixes major Gmail bug 7 hours after exploit details go public. Attackers could have sent spoofed emails mimicking any Gmail or G Suite customer. And this sounds like another one of those examples of someone reporting a bug, kind of getting ignored or getting the runaround and saying, all right, well, I'm gonna go public with it, and oh, now you fix it.
So you know how I pick on people for sensationalizing headlines?
You do.
This one's like the opposite. ZDNet must get paid by Google somehow. Because if you just take the headline, Google fixes major Gmail bug 7 hours after exploit details go public, that sounds like Google did a great job, doesn't it?
There should be
That's
a
exactly what I
comma
thought.
after ignoring for, what, 3
Yes,
4
for
months.
Yeah.
So somebody found a way that you could relay emails through the Gmail servers to defeat SPF and even DMARC tests, like, you know, that it would show as coming from a valid server. And it's a fairly simple one. The ZDNet article actually lays out how it works, but the approach was actually pretty simple. Well, they reported it to Google, and Google said they were working on a fix and that it would take a certain amount of time. And so the security researcher did responsible disclosure. They said they would wait 120 days. Like, that's 6 months. Nobody waits that long. And wait, is that good math?
That's 4 months.
4 months. 4 months. Thank you. Again, nobody waits that long. It's usually 60 days or 90 days, but here it's 120 days. So a long time. So they waited out, and Google didn't put out an update. And so the researcher asked them, followed up, and they said, oh, yeah, it'll just be a few more days. It'll be on the 17th of August. Well, the 17th of August rolled around, and they said, well, it's going to be a few more days. And so the researcher finally said, that's it. And she posted it online. She said, here's the attack. Here's how you do it. Here's the proof of concept. And once she posted that, this fix that Google was waiting months and months to roll out, was even delaying days there at the end, they rolled out in 7 hours. Like, they could have put that fix in place 6 months ago, or 4 months ago. This is terrible math. This is why I don't have those dice.
Well, they could have done it 6 months ago.
Yeah, they could have, I suppose. But they didn't. And so it's funny because Google has been under fire a few times where they've disclosed other vendors' security flaws without even giving them 90 days. In some cases, giving them less than 30 days. So Google's being kind of shady here, that they disclose other people's bugs, but they don't want theirs disclosed. And so this is not a shining moment for them.
The question that pops up into my mind is why, if they apparently properly motivated, they could have fixed this bug, right? And they didn't. Why not? That's the question I have in my head. What was it that kept them dragging their feet that we'll probably never know? And it wasn't until someone shoved it out into the light they went, oh crap, we got to fix this now, because they were left with no choice.
I feel like it's one of those things where someone goes, here, this knife is sharp, be careful, I warned you. And they go, really? Hey, it's sharp. I feel like a lot of times they go, oh, it can't be that bad.
Well,
and then they go, huh.
Well, they're either incompetent, right, or they're hiding something.
Every time I go to the Mexican restaurant across the street and they say, this plate's hot. Really?
You're like, I grabbed that mug. I'm like, hey.
Damn, it's hot.
I don't think they're hiding something, but I think
they're
Google
incompetent.
has a culture of ignoring their customers and ignoring their users, right? Like throughout everything. They ignore. If you go to the Google support forums, you'll find millions of posts from people and 0 posts from Google employees. And they have like these community representatives, but those are just regular users that they gave a little badge to. They're not actually Google employees. Google ignores their customers worse than like any other company in the planet. And
They don't ignore their data.
well, I mean, if they can monetize it, all of a sudden it's a
that's
different
what I
story.
mean.
So what this researcher should have done, Allison Hussein, she should have used this bug to make her email look like it was coming from Sundar to them, be like, how have you guys not fixed this yet?
As an internal memo.
Yeah.
Like, hey, listen, this is bad.
Well, she brought up a great point that, like, if you're going to do a BEC, right, a business email compromise, this was gold.
Yeah.
That if you knew a business was using G Suite, you could forge an email as any employee in that organization, and it would pass every test. It would show it's coming from a valid server.
Is it easy to find that out, to say, oh, this company is using Outlook or this? Okay.
You just do a DNS query, like we were just talking about, and pull the MX records, and you'll see the Google servers in the list. Yep.
Yeah, that could have been a problem. And who knows, honestly, if people have been using this. I mean, because this is a researcher that found this. It's not to say that some bad actor hadn't found this, a long time before, or somewhere in that 120 days.
Oh,
or
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, Daniel, you can probably speak to this better. Like the odds are, if she found it just poking around, like a motivated attacker probably
Especially
would have found it.
Nation state attackers and things of that nature.
Yeah.
They keep this stuff under lock and key. They know this is available. Obviously, they're not disclosing that to anyone because that's how they continue to act in the way they do. So it's not until a good researcher comes along, bug bounty programs are available that allow us to discover these, report them, get them fixed so that we can find more bugs and continue the cycle.
Yep.
Fun. It never ends.
If you enjoyed that segment, be sure to check out our entire podcast available in the playlist right here. And you can always subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech news and other happenings in the IT world. Be sure to tune in every Thursday for new episodes. I hope to see you there.